Hey guys, this is Helana with Glass Factory. I'm here with Kami Kehoe. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, it's super nice to meet you. I've been a fan of yours for a little bit, but it's just great to connect with you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I guess for my first question though, what's something you're exploring creatively right now that might surprise fans?
Um, I am working on a lot of new material. I just released Kandy, my EP, which was kind of like rock, pop, alt. I had some electronic stuff in there. But I'm like dabbing a bit more into like my old R&B
Mm.
vibe. It's still rock, but like some of my flows and stuff are a little more leaning like R&B hip hop. And so I'm excited to see where that lane is gonna go. But
Mm.
yeah, I just did a couple songs recently that have like an upbeat vibe to it and like hip hop, R&B a little bit. So
That's really cool.
yeah. Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to do like R&B and a bunch of different genres when I was before I like fully dove into rock.
Okay.
But,
Yeah. What was something about R&B that you really enjoyed when you were starting out?
it was easy for me to produce. I think like just like I loved like a good bass line and just like the flow of everything and I also like don't rap like that. So I'm like R&B was like the fine line between like I can kind of rap but like I could also sing. So it was like a nice happy medium. I just like the vibe of it. But
Mm.
I grew up making rock music with my sisters and then when I was 16 I went solo and kind of did the whole thing, kind of found my sound and did all genres and then went back to rock. So here
That's
we are.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've heard R&B is just generally like pretty easy to get into the flow of things and just really enjoy it. So it'd be interesting to hear what you come up with.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. So you started your music journey at just 6 years old. Looking back, how do you think that version of you would say about where you are right now?
Like my 6-year-old self. If
Mm-hmm.
they saw me, they met me right now, they'd probably
Yeah.
freak out. I think that like when I went back to rock music, I felt like my 6-year-old self be like, this is what you were supposed to do this entire time. Like, when I was younger, I just thought I was like this rock star. And like, I always wore sunglasses to school, like, which is very cringe. I don't know why I did that. And like leather jackets. And I just like, I'm going to be a rock star. I already know. Like, I was just really young and really excited and stuff. But, yeah. So I think if they met me now, they would she'd freak out. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there like a point where you were like looking back and you're like, oh my gosh, did I just like manifest this too hard? I can't believe this is real.
I have my moments where like it's hard for me to take it in, even like with like when I have shows where like
Mm-hmm.
the followers or when like people come up to me and they're crying. I'm like, oh my God, like this is like I still feel very normal. Like I still feel very like I'm still grinding and I'm still trying to get there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, cause I've just been doing this for so long. So
Yeah.
like I feel like I'll always feel like that, which is okay. Like I'm still gonna like take a second to like enjoy where I'm at and like be happy with the success so far and stuff. But I just always feel like I'm not there yet.
Mm.
And so it's like hard for me to like believe it sometimes. But then
Yeah.
when interactions happen where I like meet a fan and they're like saying I changed their life and they're crying and I'm holding them and I'm just like damn like that feels real. Cause like
Mm.
sometimes with social media it's hard because it's like you see the numbers and you see all of it and like it's very interesting because like it doesn't feel real sometimes through social media. But
Yeah. Yeah. There's the parasocial aspect of it.
yeah, because it's
Mm-hmm.
through a phone. Like I know
Yeah.
they're real people, but I'm like, are you guys for real? Like real?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet that's a weird, is it paradox? You think that would be a good like description of that? A good weird paradox of things. So what excites you about having full creative control as a producer and artist, and what challenges come with that?
Um, I'm very hands-on when it comes to my music and I write mainly everything on my own. I've worked with writers and I love working with people. Like I would love working with producers and writers and all that. But I do feel like my best material comes from when I'm being like the most vulnerable.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I'm pretty hands-on with like everything. I like edit all my own videos too. And with the creatives and the visuals and music videos and stuff, I love making a song. And especially if it's like personal and vulnerable to me, like having a visual to go with that kind of explains the way I'm feeling, but also to make it universal so like other people can feel it and relate in their own way. Like I'm pretty like strong on, even when I work with other writers before we make the song, I'm like, we need to make it universal so everyone could feel the same way, or everyone can relate to it and have it be like, oh, this is my song. Like I love when I listen to a song and it feels like it's my song. Like and it's not like, you know what I mean, like a random artist or whatever.
Right.
And it feels personal to like your situation or something. It just feels like a special song. Like I want people to feel that way with my music. And if I make it too specific to what I'm going through, I think it's hard for more people to relate. So I try to keep it like broad.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that. So do you feel like your presence in the rock and punk scene redefined what rebellion looks like in 2025, since it, tends to have that rebellious history? And if so, how?
That's a hard one. I like it though. I think I wouldn't even consider myself like a rebellious person. I think like I'm pretty like good and I don't do anything too crazy. But I think the reason I love rock music so much is because it carries so much angst and like power. And not even in a rebellious way. Like sure, maybe there's artists that are rebellious and have this rock and roll rock star energy and stuff, but I think it's much deeper than that because rock music holds so much power and like we have something to say and like it's really like in your face and aggressive, but it changes things. And sometimes it's like you need to be that like force to kind of actually make a change or make a difference. And so yeah, I think there's a new way to have this like rebellious kind of rock star vibe without being destructive, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's important to like have a good support system, and so I try to like keep a good head on my shoulders. I'm also 22, like I'm still pretty young, so I'm trying to just stay on a good path. And at the end of the day, I make music because it helps me, but I release it to help other people. And so I have a goal to cure the world and to help people. And so if I'm on my shit and I'm doing good, then I know I'll get there. So I gotta like keep on that path. But yeah, rock music holds such power. I wouldn't even say like rebel is like the word for it now, because I just think it
I
has
totally
a lot
agree.
of power. Yeah.
It's kind of transitioned into a form of catharsis in a way, right? And just like letting out all that angst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool answer. Thank you for sharing that. And then speaking on your new EP, was there a main turning point where you felt like Kandy was connecting on a bigger level than anything you'd released before?
I think the biggest thing I saw before Kandy was Sleep When I'm Dead. It was one of the first rock songs, the first rock song I think I released in like 2023. And then I released Revived, my album after that. And then when I started teasing Kandy, I think I teased the song Kandy first. And I saw the numbers, but not only did I see the numbers, I saw the comments. And I think that's what struck me more than anything, is there was a difference between Sleep When I'm Dead and Kandy that I saw, where it was connecting with people on a vulnerable level. Like, oh my God, I just went through a breakup. I need this song now. And I was like, okay, I just went through a breakup and I needed this song too. So like, I felt like Sleep When I'm Dead was dope because people were like, damn, this is like a girl drummer. Like it was giving like punk, like whatever, like that vibe I was in. I think people were gravitating towards that. And also like the song was kind of relatable. But these ones were like hitting people in a different way. And so I noticed that when I started teasing all the songs, and every song I teased went viral on the EP. Except I didn't even tease the last song, Come Down, because I was like, I'll like save that one for the EP. But all the 4 songs that I teased, which was Kandy, Obsessed, Make You Hate Me, and Dopamine, all 4 of those did really well.
Yeah.
And I was just teasing them lip sync videos first on like TikTok and stuff, and I saw like the numbers, and I was like, okay, this is really good. And then I did the drum videos. And then everyone loves the drum videos. So I was like, yeah, I gotta do it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, there's, I don't know, the melodies are just really infectious, and earworms without the like, I feel like there's a negative connotation to an earworm, but I feel like they stick in your hand. Yeah, it is like ear candy, you know? It is like ear candy. That's a better
Yeah.
way to put it. Because earworm is like,
Yeah.
there's an annoyance to that, and I feel like ear candy definitely fits that.
Yeah, Ear Candy's good. I think it's cool because the EP is called Candy. But I
Yeah.
do feel like there's so much pop influence in that EP too. Because I'm a pop girly at like heart, and like I think a lot of my songs are like pop melodies and then rock music over it. And so I think it's just badass. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I love how you blend those two genres, and going back to R&B, it'd be really cool to see what you put in R&B wise
Yeah,
too.
it's definitely a new lane I'm jumping into. Not new because I feel like I've done all genres. But yeah, it's just fun. It's just different. It keeps things interesting. But yeah, I have a lot of new material I'm working on. I'm like so excited to start releasing some new shit.
Cool.
So
That's really cool. Well, I'm excited to hear that whenever that comes out.
hell yeah.
Kind of going into that blend of different genres, how do you approach doing that and blending different elements without losing the raw emotion at the core?
That's a good question. I always say when I write a song, if it sounds good, just vocals and guitar, then it's a good song. So if a song is good to its core, it doesn't matter what production you put over it. You can put hip hop production, rock production, pop production, folk, country, whatever. If the song is good, it's a good song. And that's how I write. So with Kurt, for example, Kurt Martin wrote this whole EP with me. He produced it and wrote it with me. But we would sit there and he would play something on the guitar and I would just sing a melody. And if that was catchy enough and that was good, which it usually was, the way we wrote the whole EP was like very fast because we were both going through some shit. And like the emotion in the studio was just a different vibe for like a month. And so those songs came together pretty fast. But yeah, I would just know. He would just play something on the guitar and I'd be like, I love that chord or I love that, whatever. And then I would sing something and we would just know. And then we would build off on top of that. So yeah, I think if the song is good at its core, then you could do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Cool. Yeah. Sweet. That's awesome. How do you want fans to feel after listening to Kandy start to finish?
That's a good question. I don't know. I want them to feel however they want to feel. Like if the song makes or the EP makes you feel cool and happy and like whatever, that's awesome. If it makes you feel healed and better or it makes you feel sad, that's okay too. I think I wouldn't necessarily want anyone to feel like a specific emotion. I think I would just want them to feel something. Like I wrote Dopamine about feeling numb and not feeling anything at all. And that was like a really low place for me to be in. Like I really did not love that. I think like the worst feeling to have is feeling nothing. And so the only thing I would want is for them to feel the EP to make them feel something, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really powerful too. I think a lot of people can relate with that as well because, yeah, it is kind of scary to not feel anything at all. And there's kind of a process to it when you're trying to learn how to feel things again, right? After all that.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, you've built such a strong relationship with your fans on social media. How does that direct connection shape your vision for what comes next?
I just want to meet all of them. It's so funny because they're all numbers right now in my head, and I calculate them which is probably maybe fucked up to say. I don't mean this in a fucked up way at all, but like when I look at social media, they're just a lot of numbers, and like I just want to like meet all of them. Like I'm just like I feel like I'm connected with them, but like not through a phone. And I'm so like strong on like real connections. Like I really love the phones and I love social media for what it's done for my career, but I also hate them because I feel like it's ruined a lot of like real things. And that's why I love live shows because I actually get to see them face to face and hug them and like tell them everything's gonna be okay and like we get to talk about the music after. And like I had a headline show in LA and it was my first headline show ever. So I didn't know what to expect and it got sold out, which was amazing. And I think my set ended early, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette if you guys want to go outside and like talk or whatever. And there was like a whole line wrapped around the venue, but I thought it was for the next band. So I was just like walking outside, like not thinking, and then my manager was like, they're all here for you. And I was like, what? I'm like, no shot, no way. I was like, this is insane. So 2 hours. Like I had a 2 hour meet and greet outside, just like meeting everybody and just talking to them and like signing their shirts and like it was just amazing. Like that like is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Crazy. I've never experienced something like that before.
Mm.
So I just can't wait for more of that. And I can't wait to meet more fans in different states and like different countries and just like connect with them like that. It just is so special. And like I have this tattoo on my wrist that says you need them and they need you. And it's like the
Mm.
world. Um, because at the end of the day, like there are people that would come up to me like, oh my God, I need your music. And like, I feel like they like needed that. And I was like, well, damn, like I need this to keep going too. Like I've been doing this my whole life. So it's hard to not get discouraged, I feel sometimes. Um, and for a long time I was discouraged. Like my band broke up. I had gotten like signed to a label when I was 17, got dropped. We're not even dropped. Like the label fell through. It was just I've been like this my whole life, like with music. And so to finally see things happening and the real connections that I'm making and the people that I'm changing, like their lives and stuff is like really important to me. So
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you have a really great connection with everybody as well. And yeah, it's cool to see that you're going live too and going on the stages as well. Cause
mhm.
I don't know, just like I'd love to see you one day, but just seeing that you're on Louder Than Life, Warp Tour, like all those really, really cool spots,
Mhm.
just very excited for you and seeing how you're growing and
Thank you.
connecting with people. So,
Yeah, I'm super
yeah.
excited. Yeah, and then I'm going on tour in the fall with Daughtry, Seether, and
Hmm.
POD. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
That's
I'm
exciting.
very excited about. Those are legends. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. You're killing it right now. That's
Thank you so
definitely,
much.
yeah. I
Mhm.
really can't wait to see what you're doing next because, yeah, I wish I could have made it to Warp Tour this year, but
Are you going
never
a lot
been.
in life?
I'm not, but I'm going to be at Aftershock. I am always
Yeah.
so mad whenever they're like, I was really mad when I didn't see you on the Aftershock lineup because that's the one I
I
definitely try to
know.
go to every year. But
Oh,
I
it's
need to make
okay.
it to Louder Than Life one of these days because everybody, that's like the best lineups of the year, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah,
So,
no, it's crazy. The lineups are insane.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so nuts.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to Warp Tour yet either. I did go to Disrupt. That was like the one in between
Okay.
when Warp Tour shut down, and I've been like really wanting to go to Warp Tour since. So,
Oh,
how was it? What'd you think?
it was insane. It was honestly like, I didn't know what to expect because I've never been to a Warped Tour ever.
Hmm.
I just heard a lot about it. There's a lot of lore behind Warped
Yeah.
Tour. So I was like, I'm ready to go. And so, yeah, it was crazy. I played one of the smaller stages. I played like the Pike stage or something like that. But a lot of people, I remember like getting up there and it like the crowd was like, I don't even say not big. It was kind of big, but it was just like half of what it was by the end of the show.
Mm.
And so like it was like a quarter of people. And then I like remember I was singing Dopamine and I looked up and it was just like, and I was like,
Mm.
oh damn. I was like, when did y'all get here? I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, it's a lot of people. And I still get super nervous because like, yeah, I'm used to being a drummer and a backup vocalist like growing up. So
Mm.
having to step in that role and be the front woman took a lot of fucking years to build that confidence. But I feel like I'm finally there, or I'm at a place where I like I know when I'm once I get on stage, I'm like in a different element and I'm a different person. Not a different person, but I have this like overwhelmingly amount of confidence that I usually probably don't have regularly, like when I'm walking around
Mm.
and shit. But yeah. So
Yeah, the onstage persona and then the in real life persona is like
yeah.
definitely a thing.
Yeah, because I'm pretty awkward. And so sometimes I feel like I'm even awkward on stage, like in between my talking moments. That's when my personality will show, I feel, when I'm talking.
Hmm.
But when I'm performing, I feel like I'm like this force, and that's how I want to be perceived. And that's how I want to act. But like even when I get off stage, I'm so awkward. I'm like, hey, everyone. Like, fuck. But
Uh,
yeah.
recovering awkward person, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I can relate with that. I'm definitely still working on that. Like, I'll be real. Whenever I'm a little nervous, I just lean on the questions in the interview. So that's partly why I'm
Yeah.
just blowing through them because
No,
I just
it's
try not to
okay.
be awkward.
No, you're doing so good, honestly.
Yeah. So, like, where do you want to take your momentum next with with your EP climbing? I know you said you're working on some new stuff, but what else are you working on?
Damn, I have this tour that I'm preparing for.
Yeah.
In like 3 weeks for like 52 days. My parents are coming on my tour with me, which is so amazing. My parents are like my best friends, like my number one fans for sure. So he was like, I'm not missing, my dad was like, I'm not missing a show. And so he offered to drive the bus. So I was like, if you want to do that, go ahead. But I like felt bad. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, let's do it. And I was like, okay. So I'm just like so stoked, and I'm so stoked to like meet everybody in the shows and get to know the headliners. And Chris Daughtry actually is the one who invited me on the tour. And we had been connecting over social media for a minute, and I'm just like obsessed with him. I love his music, and his voice is incredible live. And he invited me to his show at like the Forum in LA, and I went backstage, and he was like, well, are we going on tour? And I was like, I'm down. I already said yes. As soon as I saw the offer, I said yes. And so it was an awesome interaction. And I just feel like the energy on this tour is going to be like out of this world. I think it's just a very powerful lineup. And I feel kind of like, I love that I'm the only girl. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm bringing that girl power. Like, like, not that, whatever, if it was a boy opener, that's fine, whatever. But, like, it's just so badass that I'm like, okay, I'm going on with, like, all these, like, these dudes. I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. And so, like, I remember when I was, like, younger, like, I always had this chip on my shoulder because I'm a girl drummer. And so there's usually no girl drummers. It's usually guy drummers. And so, especially when I was younger. And I was like 10 or 11 or something, and we would play these venues with my sisters, and the engineers in the venues, the front of houses, would always like turn up my drums really loud because they thought I couldn't play loud. And so that would piss me off because I was a pretty strong girl. I always grew up pretty athletic and like pretty strong, but I always had a chip on my shoulder that I was better than any boy. Honestly, I was just like, I can run faster, I can play harder, I can do whatever. So I was just so competitive. And so I remember like every sound check, I would just hit the fuck out of my drum set to scare everybody in the venue because they would have to turn me down. And then after sound check, they'd be like, you play like a man. And I was like, thank you. I was like, that's like, well, I play like a girl. But let me rephrase that. But I do play really hard. So I just think I've always had like this like girl power thing that I've always wanted to advocate for. Like women could do anything. And even if it is a guy's, or which I don't even think that's even a thing. But like I just think women could do anything. Women are strong as fuck. So.
Yeah, I try to avoid those like male dominated industry questions because like I feel like they come off a little bit like virtue signally.
Sure.
Yeah, and I've like I think it's just really cool what you're doing, and I do think that you're like not necessarily paving the way because there's plenty of female drummers out there, but I do think it's really cool that you're fronting and you're doing such really, really cool, unique things and creating such a unique voice that's just like totally you. And that's something that's really special. It's really cool whenever I get to see that and get to chat with people like that are doing it. Yeah.
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing everything. I think that's pretty much all the questions I have for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we hopped off?
Come see me on tour with Seether, Chris Daughtry, and POD in the fall. I'll be posting more about like which states I'm playing in. I should have a flyer on my Instagram that says all the states, and on my website you can get tickets. But yeah, I'll be releasing more music. I'm thinking about even releasing my cover of Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon. It's like a really flipped version of that song that I really want to release. So
that's a good song. I'd love to hear that.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Yeah, of course.